Hello, we're Parrot Chat. We do a podcast. You might have heard of us, you might not. It's alright, you know. Chris,
yeah,
talk.
I was just thinking, like, remember that gig we did like about 2 months ago or something? We did this, it was like a charity gig in like Bethlehem.
Yeah.
And it was amazing because we're doing it, and it was going really well. It was like we're like raising money for this charity. You know, it was raising money for kids, like orphans who can't say the word honey. I think what they do is all they do is like show them like copies of like Honey I Shrunk the Kids over and over again to try and, you know, get them to say honey. I don't know if it's working. It did. It was going really well, and right up to the point that you sort of caught on fire.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, oh no, because basically, Ian's like pretty much made 75% of paper, aren't you?
Yeah, it's true.
It's like I think it's like 75% paper, 5% felt, and 20% with as originals. So it was like an accident waiting to happen, and like he was doing it, and you didn't realise he caught on fire at first. And the people in the audience were shouting like, "Oh man, you're on fire! You're on fire!" And you're like, "Thanks very much. You know, I'm doing my best. You know, like, I'm glad you appreciate it, because you know you really are on fire." And but he's a true pro and just carried on with the game.
Oh yes,
And you know, I just did it whilst being on fire. So it was pretty good.
Chris,
what man?
how was Valentine's Day?
Oh, it was alright, it was good, you know, except that I had so many, like, love hearts, right? I had about 3 packets, right? That just, like, you know, like, that my shoes just kept slipping off. They should put a warning label on them, really, because, you know, like, when items of clothing start falling off, it's just, like, it's ridiculous.
It's just wrong.
I had a friend, and his cravat, he couldn't keep it off for love no money. Oh. You know what I mean? So what about you? Do you have a good Valentine's Day?
Well, I went on a date with a witch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and she was invisible. So I just kept, like, seeing, like, big movements and stuff, right?
It's tricky with the invisible ones.
She'd cast some spells on us and stuff, and I kept like seeing frogs and monkeys and horrible. But I think we're married. So I don't know. Yeah.
You think you're married?
I think they have the certificates haven't come through the post yet. She might have emailed them. I don't know. She might have on her blog. I don't know. But Chris.
Yeah.
Question for you, right?
Okay.
What happens when Trevor McDonald has too many cream cakes?
Oh, you don't give him any cream cakes. This goes for everyone, right? If Trevor McDonald comes up to you and says, "Oh, can I have some cream cakes?" Even if he's like really hungry, don't give it to him because he just goes mental.
Really?
Right? Because I used to be a runner, right, at ITN, like a few years ago, and it was like Trevor McDonald's birthday, and like his brother-in-law came up, right, he had like a Ford Escort full of cream cakes.
Right.
And so like Trevor McDonald's like, "Oh, brilliant!" So he jumped into the Ford Escort, ate all the cream cakes, right? You know, he came out about an hour later, his eyes were like proper massive.
Yeah.
And then he's just started like running up and down a hill, like for about 10 minutes, going, "I'm a Viking, I'm a Viking," right? Then he started shouting to loads of like old women's letterboxes, going like, "How you got me sweets? How you got me sweets?"
Right.
Like, after that, right, he went to the nearest cafeteria, went in, paused his way at the front using his big fat arms, and said like, "I want 16 slices of toast." So they gave it to him, right, and he took 1 bite of one of the bits of toast, right, spat it out and went, "Ugh, that's too toasty." Then he left, right, he ran out, and he just found like a nearest skip and just slept in the skip until like the effects of the cream cakes were worn off.
That's the sort of thing you do.
Mental, it's totally mental. But Ian, right, I've got a juicy question for you, right? It's so juicy, I'm going to put my tie on my shoulder like that, as if like I've just been in a hurry. Like, do you know that Drew Barrymore?
I've heard of it.
Can you give us like at least 1 fact about Drew Barrymore?
Chris, I'm going to give you 2.
Good.
Yeah. One fact is she's allergic to cars, museums, monkeys, people called Paul, hats, cheese as well. And I'll give you another fact.
You go on.
A bonus, a cheeky fact if you like. She has no blood.
Really?
Yes. She replaced her blood in 1994 with blackcurrant jam. I don't know why, right? But you know, during the wedding thing, if any time she bled on set, just a little bit of bleeding, people just say, "Oh, it's a time for cheesecake." They're just really confused by her lack of blood.
That's shit and amazing.
I know,
that's one thing I didn't know about like Drew Barrymore.
I didn't actually read it on Google. I read it on like a separate kind of cheeky site. But it's called DrewBarrymoreHasNoBlood.com.
Very good.
Yeah. Chris.
Yeah.
Is it true that Neil Diamond, you know the popular folk singer?
Oh, Neil Diamond, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of him. I don't know what he does. Is it true that you'll do out for a fiver?
It's true, Neil Diamond will do anything for a fiver, right?
Really?
I know this because I was like good mates with him.
Yeah,
you know, about 2 years ago. I'm not showing off, but I was good mates with him about 2 years ago. It was like me, Neil Diamond, Dev off Coronation Street,
nice.
and Andy Peters, and we're just hanging out, you know, as we do outside of Greg's, eating a couple of pasties and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like Andy Peters, right? He spies this tramp asleep on a bench,
wow.
right? And he goes like, Neil Diamond, right, I bet you a fiver, right, if you go over there and eat that tramp's hat.
Yeah.
Right, Neil Diamond's like, oh, no, but I'll do that, right? So he went over, right?
Right.
And he just started eating this guy's hat. Didn't even take off his head. He just started eating it, every morsel of the hat.
Oh, it's sick.
And you know, it wasn't until afterwards I realised that the guy wasn't even wearing a hat. What he'd done, right, he just cleverly, like, shaped his hair in the style of a hat, so it was like in the shape of a hat kind of thing.
That's
So he'd
ridiculous.
eaten the guy's hair, but, you know, I mean, Diamond got his fiver, so he's happy with that.
Well, that's the only thing that matters, isn't it, really?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But Ian, right? Oh man, do you know what I hate? Like people that wave. Why do people wave? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like anybody who waves must be evil.
Really?
So like, what I want to know is who the hell invented the wave?
That's actually probably the 39th best question in the world.
Thank you.
I'll be honest with you, right? There was a guy called Albert Le Wave, and in 1994 he was walking on the street. He saw his friend. He was called Albert. And he said hello to him, and he was actually going to do a cheeky salute, right? But as he was doing a cheeky salute, a pigeon shit on his hand, right?
Oh,
And he
no.
was like, oh no! And he did this kind of weird gesture, and you're like, oh, quite good that. And then that became the wave. But Albert the Wave also invented quite a lot of things as well. No one knows about him. Do you know about him? Have you heard about him?
I haven't really heard anything about it.
I read about him in a book when I was a kid, you see. So
Oh, it must be true then.
Yeah. Basically, he invented kumquats, flip-flops, Oasis, the band. He actually invented Albert the Wave and
Wow.
Oasis as well, yeah. Even that weird gesture on his face as well.
Alright.
Very good.
Stop now, Ian.
What,
Right.
man? He invented the bravery as well. Not bad.
Stop.
Right?
I don't know anything more about him. I know you're obsessed with Albert
I
the
know,
Wave.
but
You know what's
everybody-
going on about him? I think you fancy him or something like, oh,
He invented
Albert
the
the
wave,
Wave,
come
push you as
on.
your boyfriend. That's all you do.
Jeez. Oh!